Hello, my friends. Afternoon to you all. Happy Saturday to everybody. Good to see you all here. Thank you all for the 13 likes already. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's say hello to the folks who are in chat already. We got Edward E, P1. Nicely done, sir. Number 2, my daughter. Good to see you. In P2. Very good. Goofy looking hippie rounds out our podium. Good to see you, friend. Awesome to have you here, man. Stefan is saying hello. Good to see you, bud. We got Chris Wood as well. Good to see you. Oh, Brigsby in the house. Like 13 deployed. Good to see you, my friend. And then, Edward says going to be high and by. Got to go to work a couple minutes. I understand. I understand the work thing. Okay. That's all who's saying hi so far. So we have a very special, once again, Learn with Led session today. During the stream last Saturday with Ace, we had a person check in and say, "How do I book a session with you?" And that was our friend RSR OP. OP, why don't you go and say hi to everybody?
Everybody, good to see everybody. Appreciate everybody, supporting LED, and I'm really excited to learn this Suzuka track.
Cool stuff, man. Yeah, we're excited to have you here, man. Every time, I don't know, there's something really special about every time, someone who's been in chat and, typed words on the screen that we get to hear your voice and learn about you and, hear your personality come through. There's only so much you can do in a chat, right? As far as tone and all that. So,
Yeah.
if you'd like, OP, why don't you tell the folks about yourself a little bit?
Yeah. So, of course, I'm RSR OP, recently known as OP Turret, with the name change.
Okay.
I joined RSR. I'm gonna say about 2 months ago. Um, I've been playing Gran Turismo for about 7 months now. I would say, yeah, picked up the game in July, and started playing competitively
Mm-hmm.
in October. And yeah, so I've been racing with RSR, like I said, for a couple of months. Recently going from C class, and now I'm low A, high B, somewhere in there. So RSR has been a big help for me. So
Mm-hmm.
big shout out to all the RSR guys, of course.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. Love the RSR racing team and everything that they're doing over there, headed up by Eric B. Eric B. Man, what a solid dude. Uh, um. So you said this game's been out now for a couple years. So you only picked up the game, bought it in July, and you said you said competitively. So I'm guessing you mean you've been doing sport mode since October. Is that right?
Sport mode, and the lobbies, of course, the RSR lobbies. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. So what was the your first like experiences on in the dailies and doing sport mode? Like, was it kind of a shock or was it something that you expected? How did that go for you?
I was, I was always nervous,
Okay.
very nervous about uh, not ruining anybody else's race, making sure to drive clean. Of course, the lower the lobby, you get into the bumper cars a little bit, but yeah, I mean, just putting myself on track, and avoiding the mistakes as much as I could.
Mhm.
But yeah, so my main thing was just learning all the tracks, just putting myself out there, not really caring if I won or lost uh, early on, just
Mhm.
trying to get myself in uh, a competitive environment. That way, I could learn how to race faster,
Gotcha.
faster
Yeah.
and clean.
Yeah, there's something to be said about, you know, I think everyone kind of knows, the game Gran Turismo's the career mode or cafe mode or whatever you want to call it,
Hmm.
has typically been kind of a nonchalant experience. Most of the time, your computer opponents are just sort of there. They're not. You can pass them on a straightaway, like the cars could go faster in a straight, and you just go right by them, kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it feels like you have a car that has so much more power than everybody else. I was
Right.
even playing on hard, and
Hmm.
it was you just blow by everybody. I mean,
Yeah. Which I appreciate that they implemented the Sophie AI. That's
mhm.
definitely more of a challenge. There's no doubt about that. But as far as the progressing through the game, yeah, it's kind of a it's more about the cars and collecting them and loving them and hugging them and all that kind of thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, so okay, so that's not a lot of time, and you've managed to get up to low A pretty quickly. Although it seems like maybe you said this is the first time you've been knocked back down to B, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I got knocked down in deep forest last week. Took some took some bumps, and I lost. I got last in
Mm-hmm.
like 3 races in a row, and it just tanked. It tanked my
Gotcha.
DR. So
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that'll do it for sure. Real quick, like, are you able to see chat there, OP? Or
yeah,
okay, so you see Kelso saying hi to you. Hello, Kel. Good to see you, bud. And then Briggs saying, gotta go and practice. See you soon, everyone. Okay, good deal, Briggs. And then Chris Wood with the one gifted membership. Thank you, my friend, so much. Appreciate that, bud. He's a stud. Everybody, put up the stud
yeah,
emojis
nice,
for
Chris.
him.
Thanks, man. He was actually in our lobbies, I think, yesterday. So yeah,
Oh, cool.
good to see him hanging around.
That's awesome. Yeah. Chris Wood is well, he's just a little bit of everywhere, isn't he?
Hmm.
He's a good dude. I love him. All right. So, so we have this week, and I'm have you done any of the dailies at Suzuka, or have you just been doing your RSR lobbies?
I do a lot of I have done a lot of the dailies this week. Suzuka is one of my favorite tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I do uh, I do run this track quite a bit, and then also I have been doing the lobbies as well,
Mm-hmm.
which of course help me tremendously every single week. So I run the dailies earlier on in the week,
Yeah.
and then later on in the week, once it gets to Thursday, Friday in the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I either if I'm going to run dailies, I run it on an alt account
Yep.
uh, because it seems like everybody gets a little bit more aggressive
Mm-hmm. And
uh,
faster, and everyone's
and
really
faster.
tuned in.
Yep.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, but I was running 202s, 203s earlier on, and now I'm running high 159s. So I did increase my time,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, running on my alt account really helps me in a different way of solidifying
Yeah.
that I didn't just get one really fast lap or anything like that. I can manage the 159s at this point.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it takes doing it in an alt account, it takes some of the pressure off, but you can still hone in your skills and get experience and all that.
Exactly.
It's a good if anyone doesn't have an alt account, highly recommended for sure. For sure. Chris Wood has gifted another Lead Pencil membership. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much, bud. Easy now, okay? Easy. RSR Choice has joined us. He says, Sup, Led. Awesome to have you here, Choice. Good to have you here, bud.
Choice, good to see you.
Yep. So if you're just joining us too, and you're unfamiliar with what's going on, we are doing a Learn with Lead session with RSR OP. This is something we try to do as often as you guys want it. Basically, try to as often as once a week, but as often as you guys want it. Essentially. Let's see. Chris Wood says the racing last night was amazing. I enjoyed myself and did okay for once. Yes. And then Choice says, Hope you teach OP to not to block so much.
Yeah, he knows better. When I see Choice in my rear view, I get out of the way.
uh,
I know he's coming.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man. Hey there, AD. Good to see you, bud. And we got Viking King hopping in. Good to see you too, friend. Awesome to have you here. All right. So
Yo,
go ahead.
oh, I was just saying, yo, AD and yeah, they, you know, good
Hmm.
to see everybody.
Yeah, man. For sure. For sure. Okay. So you mentioned when we talked the other day, you mentioned how you have a wheel, but you're on controller right now. Explain some of what's going on in your rig setup.
So I do have the G923, and I'm not gonna hate on it too much, because I have had a blast on it. Don't get me wrong, but with joining the discords and everything like that, it is a bit loud. So I avoid that a little bit. So I do race on controller right now, but I will have you know that last night, Dubs, RSR Dubs, and
Hmm.
Nuganetics,
Hmm.
they talked me into going with the Fanatec wheel. So this will not be for much longer. I did end up spending a lot of money last night. So
Did you say
uh,
Fanatec or Moza?
I did go. I was thinking about going Moza, and of course,
Oh, okay.
I got talked into going to the Fanatec. So I went with the Fanatec DD. I think it's the DD
The
Extreme with the
Extreme.
F1 wheel. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the top of the line wheel. So
Holy cow. Okay.
yeah, a lot
But
of money.
yes, I'm not even going to ask. I'm not even going to ask. So today, when we do this, you're going to be on the controller then. Is that right?
All on controller today. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Which is fine because, some people may think, oh, that's not going to be really helpful. Well, I honestly think the totally opposite because the racing lines are still the racing lines that you got to be on. How you get on there and how you control that is a totally different thing, really. So, uh, whether it's on a controller, on a wheel, but nevertheless, it's important to know where you need to be. So, uh, if I may, so we have basically then a time together today on Suzuka, favorite track you said. And it's definitely a favorite of mine too. I'm not always the best at it, but I do enjoy it because it has so much to offer as far as a racetrack goes. You have the S's, you have, like you said the other day, elevation changes. You've got hairpins, and really, the turn one that leads into the S's, and then what's known as spoon as well. Like both of those ends of the track, I think, are where a lot of folks uh, have even more difficulty sometimes than others because there's braking under turning, and you have both of those going on together, and that can be pretty difficult to handle.
That was absolutely two of my most
Uh-huh.
struggled places to perform is of course turn one and the spoon turn, and I've only recently learned about trail braking,
Yeah.
and I've been trying to learn it, but it's extremely difficult on a controller,
Yes.
to be able to train my mind into,
Mhm.
you know I mean, it's muscle memory of the fingers. So I mean, it's not even using your legs or
Yeah.
your whole body or anything like that. So
That's
it's
tough.
something I'm gonna have to relearn. But yeah, that's something I've been trying to get the concept of for a while now.
Gotcha. We'll get to that in a second. We're gonna check out chat here for a second. Joe Collins is liking the fact that I'm rocking the Ravens. Yeah, Ravens versus Steelers tonight in the playoffs. It's a pretty big deal, so I figured I'd rock my home team today in the stream. And then AD says Led wore the wrong shirt. Should be a Lions jersey. Hey, look, actually, I'm excited for the Lions. I hope they go far. I really do. If my Ravens can't make it, I'd be really thrilled with the Lions winning the Super Bowl since they've never done it before. I love an underdog for sure.
I'd be excited to see a Lions Ravens Super Bowl. I mean, that's possible. So
It
that would
is.
be a cool thing to see, a little bit of a change.
It is true. So we're about to hop on track here with you, but I wanted to ask you. So as far as trail breaking goes, do you understand the concept behind it and what the benefit is for it?
You know, that's the part I'm missing. I have heard the mechanics, right, of being able to brake later, being able to get on the gas earlier, and finding the limit of the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But what what is the benefit of it? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
of course, going faster, but maybe if I understood the philosophy behind braking a little bit better, I might be able to perfect it a little bit more.
Okay, cool. So this track has multiple opportunities for trail breaking. There's no doubt about it. So why don't we hop on track and we'll probably get more into the discussion with you a little bit later on as well. Talk more and get to know you even more. But let's go ahead and go out here. So let's go ahead and we're gonna take the course at like 50% speed, basically, around there.
Okay.
And we're just gonna observe the lines that we want to be taking. So, and while we do that, the concept of trail braking really allows you to brake later than what you normally would, because you're scrubbing off some of that speed while you're turning. The reason trail braking works is because you brake fully in a straight line, right? That's because the car can handle it most of the time. If it's a good car, it'll handle it, and you won't end up losing the car in some fashion. When you, oops, how did I do that? Change view by mistake. Don't want that view. So the idea then is to take as much speed as possible to the apex. That's what trail braking allows you to do. And the reason it works is because when you start to trail brake while you're turning, it puts all the weight onto the tires that grip, if you feel my understanding there. So on this right here, if we trail broke here, all the weight of the car goes to that front right, and that front right is what you want to grip. And so you end up, the car is able to not understeer if you do it correctly, if that makes sense.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Are you pushing the brake and the throttle at the same time?
No, I do not.
Okay.
So we're about to start the second lap here, and when I get to turn one, whoa, didn't brake enough. When I get to
I was following you.
yeah. When I get to turn one, we'll stop there for a second. And as we're doing that, Noah's in chat. Good to see you, friend. Awesome to have you here. And Ozzy Pug is also here, my bud. Good to see you. All right, so now this corner is a little tough. We won't get like a true trail braking corner until let's see, it'll be after the Estes, really. This corner is so tough. There's no doubt about it. So no, there is no dual braking and throttle at the same time when you trail brake. So in this turn right here is basically taken in two segments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right where you are is about where you would brake. Now people would do it differently. There's definitely some alternate ways to take this. What I like to do is brake hard, not fully, but brake hard at the 50 and turn in. Okay? And I'm pointing towards this apex here. I am slightly on the brake at this point. I'm like maybe 25% as I come here. And then once I get to this part, I'm more fully on the brakes again because I'm more in a straight line, if you follow me.
Yep.
Okay, so there will be trail braking at this point right here. In fact, it's just this is such a complicated corner that it's hard to do. But you want to be as wide as possible, and that's really scary because it's so easy to go onto that green slippy stuff and then you're done. So, real quick, do you use any assists while you are racing?
Weak ABS. That's it.
Weak ABS. Do you have any track assist, braking
No.
indicators? Okay, that's cool. So, where I'm at right now, I do use the driving marker assist because they help me just as a visual reminder, where my apexes are and where my exits are. So it right where I'm at right now, I can just see my driving marker to show where the apex is. Now, when you think of an apex, I want us all to think that that is the slowest. That is the slowest. Sorry, let me try again. That is the part where you will be going the slowest.
Okay.
Often, folks think of the apex as, yeah, I got to hit the apex, but they're still going too fast, and so they can't exit properly. So when I head towards this apex, I'm going to be gradually going slower, slower, slower. And then when I get to the apex, I should be able to either get on the throttle fully or on my way to getting to the throttle fully, if you follow me.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's critical. Now, the only way that works is the correct entry to the corner. Most of the time, folks feel that we all have math in our minds, right? We think, well, the shortest distance between two lines or 2 points is a straight line, right?
Correct.
Well, no. I mean, yes, but it's not the fastest when you're talking about cars and inertia and momentum and all of that. So the fastest way to get through a corner is to, when you hit the apex, your car is pointed properly. And when you take a steep angle to an apex, your car is not pointed properly for the exit. So a lot of times, you don't have to follow me yet. A lot of times when people are taking this corner, they're over here, right? They have to, their slowest part is probably right about here. And the apex is yet still another 4 car lengths ahead. And so they've compromised their exit by doing that. So I'm gonna back up here a second, and then we're gonna talk about the right line to take, or at least close to the right line. So almost back into you there. So as we go, so we're going here, we're going down to second gear, and this is the optimal line that we want to take. And maybe even a little wider than that in some cases.
Got it.
Now, obviously, it's not going to be perfect every time, and you're going to end up, you make adjustments. If you come out a little too wide, you make an adjustment. If you come out a little too steep, you make an adjustment. That's fine. But you want to get as close to that as possible. So I would be trail braking all the way to about this spot, ideally. And then, excuse me. And then I'd be getting on the throttle here or maybe a little bit earlier. So typically, you're not going to accelerate. You don't want to be accelerating after an apex. That means your entrance has been compromised somehow in some fashion. If you
say that again.
Yep.
Yeah, if you can say that again.
Sure. You don't want to be, the first time you start accelerating, you don't want it to be after an apex. If you've ended up doing that, that means you've entered the turn too steep, too wide, something like that.
So you're talking about this apex. If I'm
all apex.
You're talking about the one up there?
All apex.
Okay, all apex.
All apex. Yeah, this is fundamental principles of racing. So it applies. I can't think of a single turn unless it's some type of chicane, or some type of multi-turns together. It may be somewhere in there that could be the case. But as far as like one turn is concerned, you want to be accelerating at or a little bit before the apex. And the later the apex is, the earlier you could be on the throttle, likely. Any
Okay.
eh,
All right.
is that
I've got that. Yep. I was thinking you were saying to accelerate after the apex. You're saying
mm-mm.
at or before the apex you
Mhm.
should be accelerating.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so while you're practicing and you're checking things out and learning a track, learning a car, if you find yourself you end up doing that, then okay, something I need to evaluate how I'm taking this turn so I can correct it. Make sense?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's cool. So these S's, right? These S's are fun, but they can be pretty tough at times. So depending on the car, you may have to brake at this first spot here, or you may lift. What do you do?
I go about 20% break with 20% break.
Mm-hmm.
Very early and just get down and downshift to third.
Third.
So I usually can hit fourth here and
Yep.
be in a high. I like to keep my RPM very high
Yeah.
through first and second corner here, and with only a small amount of brake applied in first and second.
Gotcha. Okay. So that sounds perfect based off what I've felt from this car. That's good. What so by going down to third and a little bit of brake, so I can get to third in the RS01, and all I have to do is lift, as long as I've turned in at the right point. But some cars aren't able to do that, so that's fine. Um, so, real quick, I want to say hi to G. Welcome, bud. Good to see you. And Fronty, good to see you too, friend. All right. So, we've downshifted to third, and we're coming over here. Now, we want to get nice and tight here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the idea. We want to get nice and tight. Preferably right over there, or even a little bit of grass is fine. Now,
Yep.
this is the part of the S's where we want to be just about our slowest, okay? So we've I'm imagine you brake there a little bit as well.
A little bit, and I'm trying
Mhm.
to keep it as straight as possible. I don't like to come having to make a turn on the second turn. I'd like to keep it
Mhm.
as straight as possible to get on
Good.
this apex.
Got it. Yep. So this is at this part of the S's, this is where you'd want to scrub the most speed
Mm-hmm.
so that you can stay as far to the right as possible, right?
Correct. Yep.
You really don't want to go out to the curb on the left. So you may brake or you may lift here. Which one do you do?
I'll lift here.
Yep, okay. And then get as far over to the left as possible.
Yep.
And then for this one coming up, I'm guessing you brake and you downshift the second.
A quick drop to second and back up to third, but I also take this one pretty wide. I usually take this one out here.
Okay.
That way I can set myself up for the last corner, because the last corner I try to hit it
Understood.
as close as I could and full out as I can.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest that we want to eradicate that from your lap.
Okay.
You're losing maybe 2 to 3 tenths by going wide here. So
Okay.
the way to do that is you would go down to second and you'll stay in second, okay?
Okay.
And you're gonna let second and a little bit of throttle control hold you to the right. You're right, you do want to be over to the right for the next turn,
Mhm.
but by going wide, we're losing time by doing that. So to do that, you'll probably go up to third here,
Yep.
right at this part. Come over here, and likely you have to. Do you lift here or do you brake?
I'm on the throttle about 70% here,
Uh-huh.
and I put my left tire on the very inside of the apex.
Okay, very nice. I like that. I like that a lot. And you're in third gear exiting?
If not even fourth.
Okay.
I'm almost. I just lift just a little bit till I exit this apex here, and then I'm
Okay.
full throttle.
Okay. I would encourage you to think about, and this is going to be a lot, but you may want to lift before going up the hill a little bit. Once you turn left, that
Mhm.
might not be necessary, but you might find that it will turn the car a little bit more, and you'll actually get better exit speed out of it. We'll see. We'll experiment with that.
And to be able to say what I do, because a lot of the time it is a feel
Feel.
thing.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand. Okay. So this Degna 1 and Degna 2 is where we're headed now. So I think, what do? We go fourth or third?
Fourth, yep, very wide, and cut this chicane as close as I can, about right here.
Right. But a little dangerous because it can
Or
unsettle the
not
car.
chicane. It does a lot, and this is where I make a lot of my mistakes.
Yeah.
If I hit this grass out here, even if I touch it,
Yes, I'm looking. Yep. I'm looking behind me.
it's right. Yeah, if I hit, because sometimes I'll get too wide out here.
Yeah.
Even if I hit this right here,
Yeah,
I'm gone.
it'll spin you. So
Yep, I spin.
so one of the things that I talk about a lot is, even while trying to qualify, get a qualifying time and that sort of thing, is finding a comfortable, repeatable pace.
Hmm.
Um, the and so some tracks have and a risk versus reward element to them in certain spots. Degna 1 is one of those, because you can definitely chuck it in there at a breakneck speed, and you could make it, or you could totally lose it.
Hmm.
And so sometimes, for a turn like that, you probably want to find that comfortable, repeatable motion to get through there and not die. Because yeah, you might sacrifice a tenth or so, but you end up staying on the track, which will in the end actually benefit you more. And I'm sure,
Yeah.
during a race is different than practicing. You can take more risks during practicing, but um so let's okay, yeah, here we go. So we break. I break like right before the curb ends over there, I think, and
Hmm.
I might coast a little bit, and I try to get on the throttle right here. The track, it ends up, you're going downhill, and there's a bottom and a banking right here. So if you can get on the throttle when the weight of the car really compresses down on the tires, you're less likely to end up spinning the tires and spinning um, over here. Which this part is famous for spin outs during a race for sure.
Yeah, if you hit the felt over here, yeah,
Hmm.
you're risking a spin for sure.
Okay. Yep. For sure. All right. So this is going to be a phenomenal example of trail braking. This one's probably the where it comes into play the most, and you have to do it the longest. So we're gonna stop right here. This is about where I would hit the brake fully.
Hmm.
Um, so this hairpin is a you want to late apex this sucker as much as you can, so that you get the car pointed in the right direction as you exit. So let's yeah, go ahead.
Can you explain that to me real quick? You said late apex.
Yep.
What do you mean by that?
All right. So I was just, yeah, perfect. I'm gonna show you first what not to do. All right. Unless you're defending. If you have to defend, then this is fine. This is what you have to do. But in a perfect world, you're not defending. This is what you want to avoid. You do not want to come in like this.
I do that every time.
Okay, this isn't what you want to do. Look at where I'm pointing. I'm pointing at the
Yep.
crowd over there, right?
Yep.
I see the crowd. So I can't get on the throttle now. And what did we say? We said we want to be able to get on the throttle either at the apex or just before, right?
Correct. Yep.
What happens here by this angle, and it's because it's a hairpin, the problems are just exaggerated on a hairpin like this. So if I'm carrying momentum like this, I probably end up going deep, right? I'm still turning, I'm trying to get it back. Now I've passed my apex, and I can't get on the throttle safely until now. That's too late.
Yep.
I've lost a bunch of time by doing that, right? All right, we're
Yep.
gonna all right, so we're gonna try to go in reverse here, and we're gonna talk about the right entrance to this hairpin. Whenever I do one of these, I always find that, man, I don't back up enough in these cars. Kind of hard sometimes. Oh, by the way, what view do you use?
Front bumper.
Front bumper. Okay, so you don't see any of the car then, right?
Correct.
Cool. Okay. All right, so we get, as soon as I pass the red and white curbing, I slam on the brakes, and I really do mean slam.
Mm-hmm.
We're slammed on the brake. I'm not turning in. I'm full on the brakes until right about here. Okay?
Yep.
And now I begin to trail brake 70%, 60%. And if I've done everything right, I will clip the apex now. And it's at this point that I am at my slowest. Okay? And then I get on the throttle. Now with this car, you need to ease into the throttle. You can't just punch it. You'll spin the car.
Right.
As there are, most Group 3s won't be able to handle that. But I can get to probably 60% right away, and then work my way up to being full throttle. So,
Mm-hmm.
so talking about that, does that like help you understand like how to enter a corner like that and how trail braking can be useful?
It makes perfect sense. The nose of the car is pointed almost all the way around the corner before you're back on the throttle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually 10-20% on the throttle through the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I end up out here.
Yeah.
And then what happens, right? You get into the grass and you get on the throttle too much because you're trying to overcompensate, and then you spin the car. I mean, I do it almost every time.
Gotcha. And even if you do make the corner, you don't go on the grass. You've taken you've taken a short time to get to the apex, but it's just crazy how long it's going to take for you to be able to straighten the car and get onto the throttle. You've lost on this one. You can lose half a second easy by really just doing it not so great.
I can see that. Yep.
Yeah. All right, let me check with chat for a sec. Oh yeah, G says exit out of this hairpin is so important because of what. Yeah, you have a long straight, and that's I'll get to more of the chat in a second. So I love that he makes that point, because it seems as though it might be 100% of the time, but I'll say 90% of the time, when you have a long straight coming up, it seems as though that's when you want the later apex, because you're trying to carry as much speed so that you can end up at your highest possible top speed later on, if that makes sense.
Thinking ahead, because if you got a long straight after the turn, you want the later the apex. That way you can have the fastest time going in a straight line. Got it.
Right. So in a spot where the S's are, for example, you're not thinking that way. You're thinking about navigating each corner, setting yourself up for the entrance so that you can have a proper exit, so that you can have a proper entrance, so you can have a proper exit, back and forth over like that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Viking says second and punch it. Yeah, it'll handle second. I'm still learning this Lamborghini. I was exiting in first. I do like this hairpin when I can exit in first, but that might just be a personal thing. Coach Wicked Quick is here. Good to see you, bud. And Abdus Salam. Hi, bro. Hi, bro, to you, bud. Good to see you, man. And let's see. He says you want the best acceleration launch with a straight line. Yep. The sooner you can be straight, the sooner you can get on the full throttle, and that's what a late apex allows you to do. Anything else with the hairpin here, Opie?
No, I think I got it. I mean, I'm gonna have to try first and second because I exit at first as well,
Mm-hmm.
but that's mainly because I hug the inside line and having to slow down as much as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll play with the first and second to see which feels more comfortable. And it
Yeah.
might be one of those things like you talked about. It might be like a
Yeah.
second in time trial, and maybe have to go down to first in a race just to keep it safe, right?
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Yep. So are you able to see my the stream right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want you to see something, and this is part of why I use the driving markers. You look at the stream in a moment here. Oop, there I go off the track. Cool stuff. Look at where my driving marker is compared to how the turn goes. Do you see how much later it is? How much farther around the corner it is? Not the one right in front of me, but the one to the left.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. So if people are trying to come and hit it here, they're way too early. If you follow me there, I realize there's probably a
Yes.
delay from what you're seeing over there, but yeah.
Uh, Yeah, but I'm seeing you on my screen and also the stream. Yeah,
Okay.
it
Gotcha.
makes
Gotcha.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah. G says, spoon curve next, one of the hardest corners on any track. Yeah, it's beautiful. I tell you what, when you get spoon right and you can start to do it repeatedly, like it feels really good. Abdul Salam says you're an A+ driver. Yes, most of the time. Most of the time, I do. I am one. Yes, especially in race. Most racers are not braking early. Pressure here makes them spin. Yeah, they wanna. They feel like they need to get on that throttle soon, and it's not. They spin out. You're right, Viking. Okay, spoon is a
real,
beautiful thing. Go ahead.
real quick, Led.
Yeah,
When you come into this corner, are
yeah,
you
yeah. Go ahead.
so? Would you said you would start turning about where it starts
Mm-hmm.
turning, or the road starts curving, and come in late,
Yep.
come in here
Yep.
to come out here.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Just making sure I had my line right.
And so recall too, so with that late turn in, you're braking you're braking fully all the way to the point that you would turn in. So
Correct.
and then you're using the rest of the turning to continue to slow down, continue to brake, but you're trail braking. You're gradually um you've applied the brake, you're gradually coming off the brake as you turn in. When if you nail that, oh my goodness, it's a phenomenal feeling because you can just exit almost with no fear of spinning out.
Got it. Because you're fully on the accelerator, almost in a straight line. So
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's head to spoon. All right, let's slow down here. I'm gonna come to a stop. All right. So my braking marker is right before this uh road right here. I don't know what you would call it. Access road? Yeah. Um it's crazy. When we had the group 2 cars here, the braking marker was the 50 for me. Those cars are nuts. Um Noah says, use you us low A+ drivers need to keep our status alive. That's right, Noah. That's right, baby. Um let's see. And then Viking says, I use that light pole on the right. Yeah, that's a viable one as well, for sure, Viking. Okay, so a lot like the first corner, you you have two sections to this to spoon. Okay. Let me ask you I know you said sometimes you're just feeling it out. Um, is there an approach that you have to spoon that you try to do repeatedly, or are you really just feeling it out every time?
I do have an approach. It is drop down to third right here at this access road.
Mm-hmm.
Hug the inside apex,
Okay.
getting on the throttle, exiting out of the off the apex in the first turn, full throttle, and then it is a feel on the second one to drop down to second to go on the inside of the apex again.
Okay. Good. Good stuff. Hey there, Nugs. Good to see you, friend. Another RSR member. Awesome. 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 Oh my goodness.
Rory Alexander, hey man.
My heart just stopped. Rory Alexander. Good to see you, friend. Here he is himself, everybody. One of the original studs. Awesome to have you here, bud.
I
Thank you
think
for
we're
the
all really big fans.
thank you for
Yeah.
the like. Yeah, we're all kind of big fans for sure. We're always doing something right over there at his channel. That's awesome. Haha, cool stuff. That's that's hard to keep myself collected now, OP. We just been visited by GT7 royalty, man.
Yeah, I watch his videos almost every day, so that's awesome.
Yep, yep, that's cool. Okay, well, let's see. All right, so it sounds like your approach is correct. Where if there's a spot where you end up having trouble, like maybe something consistently trouble, what ends up happening to you?
Um, it's probably, I would say it's probably on the second turn.
Mm-hmm.
Getting on the throttle too much. Either going into third and then hitting the
Mm,
outside right and spinning.
gotcha. Okay, so yeah, and I think that's pretty common for folks. Um, you that last part of spoon, it's so deceptive. Part of it is you don't really have any banking to help you. Um, you you're really it's all I don't know if it's negative, but if it's not, it's close because it you have to wait so long to for you to be able to end up, really feeling comfortable accelerating with a good amount of throttle and so forth. All right, so let's go ahead and slowly get through this. So you're right when you're braking, come down to third. Sounds good, and you're coming in just like this. You don't want to get to the apex too soon, but I'd like to hit it right about here, okay? And if I get more of the curb, that's fine as well. If you get some of the grass, that can help turn you as well. You might get a little unsettled, but that's not bad. Now, the first part to me is easier. The key is the second part and how you handle that. So you're right. You get back on throttle, you said, right?
All 100% right here.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. So you want to be careful with how much you do that because you want to be able to control it. So I like to brake right about here.
Trying
And
to look for a braking marker.
so
Yeah, okay, I see one.
yep. So I'm trying to brake right maybe a little bit earlier than this sometimes, depending on how the first part goes. Um I get down to second gear. AD says, "Wait a minute. I just realized, OP, you beat my time with a controller. I hate you." Oh
Hey,
goodness.
so a lot of people say controller is faster. I mean, I tend to disagree. All the fast guys seem to have wheels, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, there's definitely some fast folks on controller. It seems like there may be a little bit fewer than folks on the wheel, but yeah. So, all right. So we're braking. We're gonna come down to second gear to help get that rotation. Now, remember how we were talking about late apexing that hairpin?
yes,
You're late apexing this sucker too.
that's a huge mistake of mine because I keep this one all the way on the inside. I even hit the grass sometimes before the apex here.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So we're out here now. This is where I'm at right now. This is the ideal line. I'm usually not brave enough to be this wide because I feel like I'm gonna end up on the slippy green stuff and I'm gonna
Yep,
spin.
same.
So again, this is ideal. The the aliens of the world can do this every time, and they're great and good for them. But for us normal folk, this is what ends up happening like 10% of the time for me. I end up where I want to be right here. What this does though is so you're down to second. Second's going to help rotate the car, and your trail braking as well. So your line is going to be like this. You're coming in. You're slowing down. You're slowing down. You're slowing down. Continuing to slow down. Now you're going to start to come closer to the apex, right? And boom. This is where you want to apex.
Got it.
And this is when you get on the throttle.
So that is gonna turn the car to get me more directed to down the track, and it will avoid
Mm-hmm.
me getting so far on the outside apex to where I go off the road. And I
Mm-hmm.
can see your methodology here, and it's like that a lot of the time on pretty much it's way you take the corner, especially because it's a long straight after you're
Again.
wanting to get the car straight. Yep,
Again.
that's
Yep.
beautiful.
Yep. Exactly. Okay. Any more about Spoon? That was like over. It feels like it's oversimplifying it, but honestly, that is how it. The problem isn't the explaining to me. The problem is the execution. It's hard to do what we just did in real time, in real
Yep.
speed. You know. All right. All right. So how do you handle Degna or no 130R coming up?
Let me see it, and that way I can. It's a fifth gear lift. It's like a, I would say 50-60% lift.
Mm-hmm. Right here.
And then
Turn in.
yep, and then it is 2 wheels on the apex, 2 wheels in the grass.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can control it every time. I don't really ever have too much trouble unless there's somebody sitting
here.
beside me. If I do, if I do too wide there, yeah, it's a huge problem for me. I usually just play it nice and let them have it.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Excellent. I think that's good. That one just takes a little bit of feel, turning in at the right time, lifting at the right time. It can be different depending on the car and what tire compound. Like with racing hards, that turns much more sketch. But
I can see that.
yeah,
Yep.
mediums or softs aren't so bad. Um, AD says OP is awesome. But his time is going to be beat now that I'm watching this.
I don't know. I'm the one with the training. I'm
Mhm.
learning a lot already.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks, AD.
Okay, so I'm braking right at the imaginary 125 board here, and this is a tough spot too. This is a really slow chicane. Once again, it's braking in a straight line, maximum brake, and if you time it right, then you can turn in at just the right moment. The key to this is taking a massive chunk out of the first apex,
Yep.
and the
As
only
long as you
yeah.
don't get off the green. I think there's a green there. I think, is that correct? Where
Yeah.
you Okay.
Yeah, you will get penned if you go too far, but take as much as the game allows you to. So I'm braking fully, braking fully, braking fully, braking fully until right about here.
Mm-hmm.
And if I've done it right, I'm going slow enough that the car will turn in. It's a very short section of trail braking, but technically that is what I'm doing. I will use first gear to help turn it as well, and I'm trying to go like this. And if I can take more out of that apex, I will.
Yeah, because I'm usually here.
That's fine. If you wanted to be there,
Yep.
that's cool.
Yep.
That's cool.
All right.
The key is that you don't take a direct line to the apex. A lot of people, you can stay there for a second, but a lot of people will go just like this because it's the
Yeah.
shortest distance between 2 points. No, don't do that. You need to set yourself up. So that means you've sacrificed some speed on the first apex so that you can have as much as possible on the second. That means you're going to stay to the right a little bit longer and then turn in, exit in second probably,
Yep.
and then bam, you're gone, just like that.
So you do take this first corner in first to gain speed, or to lower your speed so you can take the second
Mm-hmm.
corner at a higher speed. Okay,
Correct.
that's cool.
Okay, so let's go ahead with that. Let's go ahead and start picking up the speed. You follow me for a bit. I will try to control this car as best I can. I won't go fully yet. I'll try to keep it like 70% or so. we're gonna try and, at 70% speed, try to incorporate all the things that we talked about, right? Feel comfy so far?
Very good.
Okay. Okay. You ended up a little bit deep there, but that's understandable. Yep. That's okay. Okay. Try and do what we just talked about here too. Easier said than done, but we'll give it a go.
A little wide again. Okay.
Yep, no problem. Good stuff, good stuff.
I think I'm watching you as well.
Yeah, I got you. A lot to do at once. That's why I'm trying to go a little slower still.
Yeah, that's fine.
Try and get the feel. Honestly, if this were a 2-turn or 3-turn lap, it wouldn't be nearly as much to take in. But Bazooka's got so much. It's a lot to try and deal with. I'll wait for you, no problem. Great question, BL. Were you a goofy-looking hippie earlier, or were you a good-looking hippie? I am very interested to see what the answer will be. Oh, Plankton's here. What's going on, Plank? Good to see you, friend.
Plankton. I know Plankton's fast too. He joins a lot of our lobbies as well.
Yeah, he's getting very quick. He was not that long ago just a B driver. Now he's beating my times. Are your tires a little dirty too right now?
I think they're okay.
Okay.
Still a little deep.
Yep. It's gonna take some feel.
Yep.
This is tough to explain, tough to describe by words only, but braking, trail braking and turning and the weight transfer of the car is all so key to getting it right. Ooh, you did that pretty well, didn't you?
That felt really good right there.
Yeah. I saw you catch me like really quickly. That was nice. In order to really make trail braking work for you, it's all about having that weight transfer at the right time, turning at the right time. And that usually doesn't happen right away, and it doesn't happen right away for me either. It takes me a bit to feel the car out and see, to get that timing right. But when you do and you start to repeat that, oh man, it's great. Goofy says I was until I met my wife. She said I was goofy looking. Okay, we'll go a little bit faster now.
Okay.
Nice. Nice again. Very good. No problem. We'll wait. We'll wait. So, if you were to explain what happened there, what would you say went wrong? We'll just.
I was concentrating on my line,
Mhm.
and I messed that up, and I didn't shift down to second as well. I stayed
Okay.
in third, and I messed that up completely. So.
Okay. Well, a huge part of it is understanding what took place so that you can correct it for next time. We're going to slow up a little bit. I think you'll have dirty tires, so we'll take it easy for this first half of the lap.
All right. How long does dirty tires usually last?
I've heard different things. I've heard that the game keeps them dirty for 30 seconds no matter what. I've heard that, the more you go side by side, it's an actual tires to pavement kind of model. I don't know what it is really. Goofy says I've messed up Spoon 1,000 times.
Yeah.
He says OP is gonna be quick. He understands what's going on really well. I like that.
Hey, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you.
Woo! Here we go. Decided to push the limit there. I found it and exceeded it.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, Plank says it's 2 kilometers, but that seems high. So that would be a tires touching pavement kind of thing.
Didn't get wide enough on the corner there, or deep enough, I mean.
Yep. So it made your angle into the corner a little steep,
Yep.
did it?
Sure did.
Yep, okay. All right, let's go again like this, and then I think I'll have you get in front of me.
Okay.
I hit the brakes too hard. Saved it.
You did. Good. Nice. You might have a little bit of dirty tires in the front.
Yeah. Nah, it feels good. I think a little tip that I've heard from Tijani is your tires don't actually get dirty in this game unless all 4 go off.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
GTI,
Almost
what's
like
up, friend? Go ahead.
It's kind of like a penalty without telling you it's a penalty. Yeah.
Yeah. Cedric's here too. Good to see you, bud. Now, I went a little steeper than I really should have there.
Yeah. I did too. I was trying to go a little bit too fast still. Brake a little bit longer.
Okay, here we go. Woo! Alright, why don't you go ahead and take the lead since I've decided to...
Alright.
Alright.
Here we go.
The tail happiness of the Lamborghini right there. That line looks very nice.
Am I going 70%?
You go however you feel right now.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome back, bud. Nice. How did that feel?
Oh, really fast. Really, really fast.
Yep. You took it better than me, I think. You're up ahead. Not bad there, not bad.
I think I could have went a little bit deeper into the turn, right?
I think so too, yep.
Got on the accelerator a little bit later.
Yep, patience. Much patience there for sure.
Alright, this will try to be a best lap scenario.
Okay, let's do it. How does that tighter line there feel?
That felt worse, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, probably need to change that up a little bit.
I think you're getting on the throttle a little too soon.
I think you're right. Yep.
Because you end up wide there. You just gotta be a little more patient in that section. Be committed to hugging that curb.
You see what I'm doing? Yeah, I'm pushing too much now and trying to be fast, and so I'm being impatient.
Yep, not a problem. Hey there, Jester. No, it's actually a Ladarius Webb jersey, bud. He is my favorite Raven.
That was two inside. Okay.
There's a little bump there, for sure. Nice.
Take it a little bit wider there.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was way too wide. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna compromise this turn you're on right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and it messes up my whole path because now through the whole thing I'm trying to catch up.
Gotcha. So let's next time we get to that spot, I'll take the lead. When
Okay,
we get to that spot, we'll go over that again a little bit.
Gotcha. Still too wide. Trying to make too much of an adjustment, I think.
Yeah,
My original line.
and that's totally understandable. There's a whole lot of changes we're looking at today, so I really don't expect. I clipped the grass.
Uh-oh. All right.
Brian W says, Steelers fan here, hopes your break fail. It's probably going to be a good game for sure there, Brian W. Good to have you here, by the way. Todd Heap, yep. All right, I'll go ahead and pass you here.
Okay.
It's an interesting thing. A lot of the things that actually are fast, they feel slow when you do them. And staying tight to an apex and waiting to be on the throttle is one of those feelings for sure. All right, so here we go. Brake, dive in, throttle, brake in, stay to the right. Get the angle here, lift, back on the throttle, stay tight, second gear to help you stay tight, wait, third, go. Lift, go.
Oh.
you were like, go, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, you want to do that again like that?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, cool. Yeah, we're in the DMV there, Jesser. I'm in Maryland. Yeah, second feels slow. I might not be, but second feels slow. I don't know.
I've tried it both. I feel like it's harder to control in second, and I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Wide. Oh, that's a little too wide.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm supposed to be way up there. Oh, no.
No, that was a little bit too much.
Okay.
I ended up understeering, so I was hitting the brakes a little too hard.
Gotcha.
Take a chunk. Second. Out we go. Turn right to go left. Good chow. All right. Brake, dive. Brake, dive in. Tight, wait for it. Lift on the throttle. Second gear, tight. Third gear, out. Light lift on the throttle. Exit, full blast.
Got it. I see it now.
Gotcha. Hey, G Wizzy. Good to see you, friend. Been a bit, man. Awesome to have you, bud. You want to take the lead again?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I was off the throttle a lot of the times watching yours, and I got a fastest time.
You did. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Let's roll with it.
Oh, it's Phil in this too. Hey, Phil. Good to see you, friend. Hey, Bill, you know how you asked for a short the other day? I did you one better, okay? I got you a video.
I notice I'm getting up to 6th gear there. I used to not have to downshift.
Yeah, okay. So you're getting more speed out of the turn is what you're saying.
Correct. Yep, correct. Oh. My
Okay.
line's on.
Okay, easy does it. Just find that rhythm again. Get back on that line.
Alright. Line. Okay. Alright.
Nice, very nice there.
That's a struggle for me right there. I'm struggling to get that one right, but
And that's okay. To me, OP, like you said in one of our chats, you know, the last when we had Ace on, and Ace, you know, mentioned how long he had the game and been racing, and you compared that to yours, which is less time. You know, there's something to be said for just experience and recognizing the feel of when you've done something right, when you've done something wrong, and the whys behind both of those, you know. So be patient with yourself.
absolutely.
Be patient with yourself as well. All right, let's do one more time around. All right, AOP?
Alright, let's do it.
And then we'll park it at the start finish line or just beyond it once we set our times. Hmm. Ooh. Oh, you too. I distracted you, I bet.
Nah, yeah, I got out too wide there. Ah. Alright.
No biggie.
That felt good.
Yeah, it looks good from here. Oh, Philness, did we get a 30 burger? That's beautiful, people. Awesome.
Nice.
Gee Wizzy, I'm probably not, bud. I was not planning on it today. All right, cool stuff. So, what thoughts or takeaways do you have there?
So the philosophy, understanding what's ahead of you instead of living in the moment, racing
Mm-hmm.
in the moment,
Yeah.
has been a very very eye awakening mindset. I really like that mindset
Cool.
of, you know, understanding that it's not all about taking the corner, uh, beginning the corner fast. It's also about understanding the track, and maybe ending the corner fast could be make your times faster. That's the mindset that I need to start having, and the
Mm-hmm.
philosophy behind it is really eye awakening. And
Yeah.
being able to have the nose of the car, the nose angle of the car,
Mm-hmm.
is really beneficial. I think that really helps me.
Yeah. So for a quick example on the hairpin, I've noticed in the past when I take it wrong that I have to dip down to about 37, 38 miles per hour, something like that, right? When I've taken it too steep and I'm sitting below 40 for a measurable time, right?
Hmm.
When I take it right, I'm always above 40 miles per hour the entire time. And
Okay.
and it's just another tell of how um taking it certain ways, taking it the wrong way is just gonna it deadens your speed. It it's kind of nuts how that works. And it's all about harnessing that momentum and keeping it going. Now, when you have these GR3 cars, they have a lot of power, so they can make up for some of those errors. But when you're in a Group 4 car or lower powered car, oh man, it's even more pronounced when that happens. But so real quick, so I want to see about getting you into the 210 race, okay? That's all
Okay.
right with you. In the
That
mean
sounds great.
When we're in the meantime, we'll talk here for a little bit before we switch over to that. But the you mentioned to me in chat and when we talked uh, on PSN and stuff that one of the things that you wanted to improve on, your one of your main goals was to basically be the cleanest, fastest driver in any of your RSR lobbies and that sort of thing. So, you want to elaborate on that a little bit for the folks?
Sure. My mentality to racing is, uh, if I'm driving clean, I am driving fast. So I take pride
Mm-hmm.
in trying to keep my safety rating S at S at all times.
Yeah.
Um, and I tend to discipline myself, or I mean that sounds kind of harsh, but I discipline myself whenever I do bump into somebody. I don't want to affect somebody else's race
Mm-hmm.
whenever I'm racing. Not only is that my mentality, that is all of RSR. I mean,
Yeah.
Ace discussed this last week as well.
Right.
We try to be as clean as possible in our our lobbies.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my main priorities, I care more about my safety rating more than my driver rating at this point, because
Mm-hmm.
if I feel like if I'm one of the cleanest drivers out there, I can, that it'll improve my time. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's one thing that I'm always trying to strive to improve on, not running into people. If Nugs is still out there, I'm sorry. I know I've ran into you multiple times. I apologize. AD knows that I ride him very close, but I try not to bump them at all. So
Oh
that
dear.
could be that could be holding me back on my driving rating a little bit.
Sure.
But I feel like I don't mind sacrificing my driving rating if I've affected your race. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
always an improvement that I'm looking for.
Gotcha. Cool. So, one of the things that you said you wanted to improve on was your ability to race while in traffic, while other cars are close to you, right? And
Absolutely.
and So what are some of the struggles that you've had with that so far?
Um, I have a terrible combination of mentalities because I'm an aggressive driver.
Uh-huh.
I will ride you as close as I can. But then I because I want to be fast, but then I'm also, if
Mm-hmm.
I hit you, I'm pulling myself back. So it's a clash of mentalities, right? I want to be a safe
Mm.
driver, but I want to be an aggressive driver. Aggressive and clean doesn't always go hand in hand. I
Yeah.
think that's one of my flaws.
So I would say, if I may, at this point, so you're low A, and you dropped down to B for at least this last week because of Deep Forest Reverse's curse. Um, so the level of competition that you're mostly facing in there, um, there's there's I'm gonna be kind. Don't worry, I'm gonna be kind, but
Hmm.
I think that there are very few people you could really trust. We'll put it that
I
way.
can see that. Yep, I can see that. Okay.
It's really not. It's I would say it's still not time yet to drive close to people at a high B, low A. Some more A drivers are going to be able to do that with you, but the fact that you have some Bs in there still, and it's not, and I'm not. Don't get me wrong, everybody. I'm not saying every B-rated driver, most B-rated drivers are dirty. No, what I'm actually saying is they don't actually have the as much control yet of the car, especially when they're not on their normal racing line. And that's where it ends up. That's where the accidents and the collisions happen, is when someone's off their racing line and they technically don't feel like they know what to do anymore. They try to do the same thing they would do when they're on the racing line, and guess what? That's never going to work. Um,
Hmm.
so I think with what I've seen so far, OP, I really feel like you definitely have a pace, and you've got A plus like written all over you. It's gonna happen. Where you're at right now, you can't. I think maybe your RSR boys are spoiling you a little bit, because that you. It sounds like, I might be wrong, but it sounds like you might be racing dailies like you race your RSR friends.
Hmm.
You probably can't, not yet at least. Um, I would still, as much as possible, I would give yourself as much space as you can,
Okay.
and make sure you're only close to someone if you have to be. So, and that's easy. That's not always possible, but I would say as much as in your control to do that. You're gonna find that in these high B rated lobbies and low A rated lobbies, people are still making a good amount of mistakes. That if you're the person not making the mistake, and your overall race pace is good, you're gonna finish in front of them, basically. You know. Um, th-
Absolutely.
yeah. Does that kind of make sense? And
Yeah, and that's the philosophy that we have discussed in the past. You sent me your videos in the past, and
mm-hmm.
that was a great mentality and a great uh, uh, philosophy behind it. Is don't let don't let yourself ruin your own race by going off track. Main focus is staying on track, and
Mm-hmm.
don't get too close to other people,
Mm-hmm.
and that they'll make their mistake to get around them. I mean,
They
yeah. So
will. And so you mentioned how you can be aggressive sometimes, and really, you how would I put it? So when you get to A and you're trying to become an A plus, you basically you it's time to become calculated, or what's the word? It's time to be calculatedly aggressive at that point. But
okay,
where the lobbies are right now, where you are, you need to be passively opportunistic, we'll say.
okay,
So you're gonna end up. racing, not always 100% like full throttle. You're gonna most of the time stay on your racing lines. If you don't have to defend, then you're gonna trail brake. You're gonna go do those wide entrances for the nice smooth exits. You're gonna do all of that, and you're gonna catch people doing that because there's gonna be other people that are just trying to kill each other, or they're battling and they're slowing each other up. You know, that sort of thing. So I would say then that if you're doing that, you're gonna find that maintaining A is gonna be pretty easy in
Okay.
all reality, because um what you'll end up doing if you're doing that, here's how you're gonna pass people. How you're gonna pass people is they enter poorly, they exit poorly, you've entered correctly, you exit correctly, and you get right on side of them, or you go clean on by them. And that would be my advice to you, is to look for that type of passing opportunity. Set yourself up for the pass on the straight after the turn. And
That
yeah, go ahead.
that's a great way to put it right there. Because when they make a mistake and they try to re-enter to
Mm-hmm.
overcompensate their
Mm-hmm.
mistake, I slow down to make sure they don't hit me or I hit them.
Probably
Uh,
because you're too close.
exactly. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Because you don't have the time to react. Yeah. And again, it's not, you'll never take advantage of every mistake that somebody else does in front of you. It unfortunately doesn't work like that. But if you set yourself up, more often than not, you will be able to. So I think that's all I have on that for now. There's so much more, but I think those are the fundamentals that I would focus on for you in that regard. And so, with that in mind, I think we're going to go ahead and transition to the share screen, and we'll watch you race the 210 race. You up for it? You ready?
I'm nervous.
That's good. That's all right. If you weren't nervous, I think something would be wrong with you. But listen, I want to remind you and remind chat, we're all friends here, right? This is a safe place. If something goes wrong on the race, it happens. Goodness, I stream. It happens all the time. I make mistakes all the time. So look, you focus on what you normally do. Try to implement some of the strategies we just talked about, and we'll see what happens. What your quality time? Where does that put you normally on the grid?
1599 on the grid is usually top 8.
Okay,
Usually top 8.
good,
Yeah.
excellent. Okay, so everybody, we're going to take a quick intermission. We have to do a couple of changes here. So if you bear with us for a little bit, we're going to take care of that, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
We are back now, and we've got the race just starting up. Everything should be good. Okay. We got OP on at second place. Very nice.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Okay. All right, so folks, while you're watching, feel free to analyze and check out his racecraft and see what it all looks like, and we'll be prepared to talk about it afterwards.
While we're waiting, make sure and like and comment on this or like the stream and share it out if you can. That way we can get to the 40 or 50 burger that Ace got because my competitiveness doesn't stop at GT7. It's got to be better than Ace's stream.
You hear that, guys? If you haven't hit the like button yet, we got to get that up. Oh, there's Ace. Speaking of him, he just popped in.
What's up, Ace?
Good to see you, friend. Okay, here we go. Exciting stuff. I like second place on the grid. It's one of my favorite spots.
Yeah, it's good. Favorite spot. Yep.
I don't like being pole. I hate that. But and yeah, second through fourth or second through fifth is a happy spot for me.
All right. I'll be shutting down a little bit, but yeah, let me know if you need anything.
Okay, OP. You do your thing, man. Good luck to you. This is exciting stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Very smooth through there. Really nice. Good, good, good. Okay. All right, he wants it. He wants it bad. Nicely defended on the outside there. Good job. Wait. Good.
Nerves.
Yep, you're all right. There's pressure, but you're handling it. You got it. He gave you a little bump. That's nice. Mm-hmm. A little bit of dirty air there, I think.
Ah.
All right. Easy. Dirty tires, so take it easy. Still a good finish here. Nice. Very nice. You're all right. Take it a little easier on Spoon with those dirty tires. Wait. Yep. Very nice. Very nice. Yes, G, right now he is on a controller. He just bought his Fanatec last night. He said he dropped a whole bunch of money. There's a good distance from them right now. Yep, easy. Good catch. Nice. Yeah, G, he does have a wheel. He's been using that too, but it's a racket and it hasn't been good for streaming, so he's been doing the controller for a little bit here. Oh, I'm so proud about that turn. I'm so proud of that turn. That was beautiful. Absolutely, Ace, yeah. Hey there, Bronco. Good to see you, friend. Sixth gear. No, no. Save it, save it. Nice. Nice use of engine braking there. Good recovery, bud. Nice. That was beautiful, Degna 1. Fanatec or Moza. Yep, Ace. Gotcha, man. Wait. Nice. Gaining on him. Gaining on him. Ah, yes. The infamous mistake was made. And look, P1 and P2 are fighting. All right, just focus on your racing lines. No pressure from anyone right now. Be as smooth as you can on the brakes. Turn-in points. Mm-hmm. Cooking. Go. Oh, nice. Pretty nice there. All right. Bring it home. Let's go. Yes, sir. Awesome race.
Okay.
Holy cow. That is awesome. Nice, bud. Hey, how do you feel about that?
Very shaky at the first. I think once I've settled in, I did a little bit better, but the thing I'm noticing here is I'm recognizing how many mistakes I'm actually making in the race. I felt like there was so many places that I can improve on. Um, yeah, just every corner I'm seeing that.
Mm.
Okay, I got through that turn, but here's where I could have made it better, and I can improve. I feel like I can improve a lot better off of that time.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that. There were a couple times there where I thought to myself, if he had gone a little wider, turned a little later, then he would have caught the guy ahead instead of, just being a little bit behind. And there were a couple opportunities like that you had, especially after I think it was two times after the S's. If you had been able to wait to get on the throttle before the uphill left-hander, you would have caught people there a couple times, I think. But overall, dude, and we'll get into more of that in a second. But man, let's start with that was great job, dude. It really
Thank you.
was. It was phenomenal, man. I think that I think you showed really a lot of poise under pressure. And going by how the chat is going, I think they think too. They think the same. They loved it.
Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it, and I don't feel like that was my best race, but yeah, it's just you've helped me out so much, man. Like you really have. My numbers aren't showing it yet, but I feel like at any point I can put up a low 159
Yeah.
at any point now.
Well, I don't think I've ever had someone on stream immediately improve their time. But, there's a lot of factors. Even folks who don't get nervous, they're cool as cucumbers. They still, they 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 know all the eyes are on them, and that's pressure, it really is. So, um but what we can do is give you those fundamental principles that, yeah, it starts with um the what am I trying to say? It starts with the the fundamentals, and it starts with one track, but those fundamentals, they translate to all tracks. They really do. What's up, R
Absolutely.
Dubs? Good to see you, man. Awesome to have R Dubs here and Dub 4523. So any other takeaways that you had from that?
Um, yeah, I mean, from that race, I mean, um, I'm just, how do you calm your nerves? Especially when I get further up.
Mm-hmm.
I get, I noticed that was a question asked to Ace last week was, do you drive
Oh,
calm or do you drive nervous?
tense.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and he said, oh, he's always calm.
Yeah.
That might be one of my issues as well because my heart rate's up. I'm super nervous the whole time. I'm tense. I'm super tense,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think that's going to transition well when I do get my wheel,
Mm.
because that's going to affect my muscle memory. But um,
Yeah, not initially. Initially, it'll be worse. Oh, look at that. That's a nice DR gain. I can barely see any gray there next to the
I
white
feel like
bar.
one or two more races, I'll be back in A.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, gee, that was the one who asked Ace. He was the one who did that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so here's what I would say to that, OP. I would say that I think that has a lot to do with your experience, how many hours you've put in the game so far still. Um, the calm and at peace mentality when it comes to driving, that only comes when you are comfortable with your capabilities
Hmm.
and you know how to control the car in various scenarios. Now, to be honest, I think if I was doing what you do, like going from a wheel to a controller to now having a new wheel coming up in a little while, I would be tense too because
Yeah.
I'd be trying to figure stuff out and like, oh, that didn't happen like I expected, and that was a surprise. And why did that happen? I've done it this way every time, I think, and now something different happened. So
Hmm.
having once you have your rig come and you have that set up and you have it dialed in how you like, and after, I mean, probably 2 or 3 months of habitual racing on it, I think at that point you're not going to be as surprised by what happens on track, and therefore you can relax a little bit more.
Hmm.
I think that that's a really key element is you know what you can do, and regardless of what happens, you've seen it before. Your experience tells you you've been here before, and you just sort of glide through it.
Yeah. Yeah, 330 races. That's all I've got in sport mode. I don't know if that's a high number or a low number. Honestly, I
That's
mean, I feel like
extremely low.
that's pretty low.
Yeah.
But 172 out of those 330 races is top five finishes. So
That's good.
I got to put in the time, put in the work to on especially not just my favorite tracks, all tracks, but
Yeah, that's
uh,
tough.
let Led, you mentioned this earlier. I mean, for anybody wanting to improve, I think Suzuka is a great track to work on because Suzuka and Spa are
Yeah.
probably two tracks to really get all factors of the game. Every single, you have to be an all-around driver. You can't just be, you know,
Yeah.
really good at one thing. And I really do love this track, and even after the daily races are over for this week, I'll probably continue to push
Work on it.
on Suzuka. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, all I can say is thank you so much, man.
Oh, you're
Um,
welcome, man. You're welcome.
yeah, you do this for you do this for, I mean, just the goodness of your heart, and I really appreciate that. And you've been nothing but kind the whole time, and you deserve all the success that you get in the future. I see yourself and your channel and everything blowing up
Hmm.
I mean, you had Rory Alexander come in your chat today
That did
and
happen.
say what's up.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I did. I have had. So he's the biggest one. I have had Zwart, or not Zwart. Zwart. I've had too, but he's cool. But I've had Z28 come. Z28 Gaming. He came really early on. Like I had less
Wow.
than 50 subs, and he stopped by. Someone,
Wow.
I don't know who, but someone told him about us. And then I've had Sparks come a couple times as well. And that was a really big shocker too that happened. But somebody has said that my name is pretty memorable. Um, and so I'm in chats on other streams, and I think people recognize me, and so
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
guess that's helped some. Not I didn't pick lead pencil because of that. I've been lead pencil since I was a teenager, um, but it's worked out in that regard. So I appreciate your kind words there, sir, for sure. So, um, I would say, and kind of wrapping this up a little bit here, OP. I think that my overall impression is that you've got really good racing instincts. Like you were close to folks there, and yeah, there was a there were some times where you made some errors, but you recovered from those,
Mhm.
and that goes a long way. So that's a race, in my opinion, where that's a race that goes wrong in the beginning and then it spirals out of control. You know what I mean? So instead of a podium, you end up with a 10th place finish or a
Mhm.
12th place finish. And no, did you win the race? Nah, you didn't win it. Did you even stay in second where you started on the grid? Nah, you didn't do that either. But to me, that was a successful race. Like, and if that's how you do it on a regular, yeah, you said it's not your best race. Ah, I'm sure it wasn't. But even if that's your average race, that's really, really good, OP. Like, even, I can't undervalue. You don't underestimate what I just said. Like, that's
Mhm.
seriously what I think. You handled it so well, and I think that yeah, if you keep going this trajectory, G sees it too in chat. He's he says OP is a smart cookie indeed. Suzuka and
Uh,
Spa.
thanks, G.
Yeah, man. So um so I feel like once you get your rig and you get that, get this work on all the settings and get it to how you like it and how you feel it and all that kind of thing. I think that you're gonna rock it through A, up to a high A, where Ace is and maybe beyond, and then it'll be another learning curve to get to A plus and to keep it.
Mhm.
But I think it's happening for you, man. I really do.
Well, I can appreciate that, and my competitive nature makes me want to be one of the best in the game, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I will say, in this race in particular that I just did,
Mm-hmm.
your words were going through my head as I was being bumped in the hairpin
Mm-hmm.
there,
Yep.
uh, and I actually accidentally bumped into a guy that he made a mistake on spoon, but I kept my line. I bumped into him. That was one of those times that I would say, "Oh, I bumped into him. I will back up. I will
Mm,
reduce my speed to let him back in front, which would give me a eighth, ninth, or 10th place, right? I mean, it was his mistake. He went off
possibly.
track, came back into me, and we just barely bumped. But I
Yeah.
thought in my head right there, should I slow down? And I said, no, that was his mistake. That wasn't mine.
First, it was his.
Um,
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah,
I mean, there was in that particular instance. I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about that one. So in that particular instance, was it possible for you to get by him without touching him? Yes.
probably. Yeah,
If
yeah,
you if
absolutely.
if you had waited for the throttle maybe a split second, you probably would have gone clean on by at a little bit slower rate of speed, but still you would have managed it. But to me, you're right. It's his mistake in the beginning, and he's trying to get back on at a slower rate, and that's hard for anybody to adjust
Mhm.
to properly every time. So I don't think I don't think that was on you. I think that was a racing incident that was initiated by his initial mistake, for sure.
Hmm. Yep. But your mindset of, I did fall back to, I think, sixth place there. Your mindset of, it's okay. Just go back
Mm-hmm.
and drive clean. You're still gaining DR even if you finish sixth.
Yeah.
And I just kept my consistency. I kept on racing my race, and then
Mm-hmm.
they made their mistakes and ended
They
off
did.
the road, right?
They
And I
did.
ended up back in third place. So I hope
That really
that
played
can
out.
that can help somebody else out there. That you don't have to make up for lost time. The world will align,
By
and
overdriving the car. Yeah. You don't have
exactly.
to do that. Yeah.
And you will still get a good place and a good time. So yeah, I mean, that mindset right there, even if it's not a fundamental training, it's a philosophy training, and I think
Yeah,
your
mentality.
philosophy
Yeah.
and mentality mindset is a huge help for anybody. And
Cool.
those all come from this training right here, and your videos, man. Your videos help me out a lot. So make sure, and
Awesome.
if
Yeah.
anybody's needing help like me, just go back and watch those. Those are
Yeah,
those are fantastic.
those are the essential racing strategies videos. Three of them,
That's correct.
an introduction, and three episodes out right now. Do encourage you to see those, and there's more to come. Not yet, they're not ready yet. Those other ones, but they're coming. But yeah, man, it's so I appreciate all of that, and I think that um, the the key there is keeping a level head even in the midst of all the nonsense. And like you said, yeah, it if that was an A plus lobby, then yeah, you probably wouldn't have gained those spots back. But that's
Right.
okay. You're not there yet, and that's fine. When you get to that point, closer to where Ace is at the moment, you as far as the dailies go, yeah, your mistakes will that your opponents will make you pay for them a whole lot more.
Hmm.
Um, but I think you're in a great spot. So I have to clarify something here. Looks like because AD says, "Hey Ace, I think OP just got better compliments." I, I only if that's what it seems like, that's only because Ace is closer to A plus than OP is right now. That's the only reason.
Well, I know Led's a nice guy, and I'm ready for the criticism. Bring it on. Uh, if you know
Yeah.
you Led, if you have hard criticism for me, I'm all for it too. I mean,
Oh, okay. Well,
don't take it on me, or don't be soft on
hold
me.
back. So, I think that for the most part, the only thing that I would suggest is work more on knowing when to be in a race specifically, knowing when you can do the proper racing line and know when you really have to not because you need to defend from other folks, okay? So let's take that instance when third place got the guy that was in third overtook you.
Hmm.
There was a couple times he was right on you for after like half a lap. He was right there, and I think that was that pass was technically avoidable if you had defended a little bit more. And by defend, I don't mean dirty or anything like that. I just mean get off the racing line a little bit and think wide thoughts. Make your car, you know, in the middle of the track at least. And yes, it compromises your exit a little bit,
Hmm.
but it doesn't give him the chance to get on your inside. If you follow me there, I think if I remember right, he ended up getting on the inside at the hairpin, and I think you were on the outside, and you managed to
Yep.
stave him off. And then later on at Spoon, he dove on you, and he got the position at Spoon, I think.
Hmm. I think you're right.
So if you remember in Essential Racing Strategies, I have this whole thing called Protect the Apex, right?
Hmm.
So luckily his moves didn't force you off the track. But I was worried for a bit because I thought he might be aggressive enough to do that.
Hmm.
So that's what that's what I would be focusing on a little bit more. There is make sure that there are definitely times when you can relinquish a position if you don't feel like defending. That's cool too. That's totally viable, especially if you think the guy behind you is faster.
Yeah,
Um, but in the first lap of a race, you don't know that unless you know the guy already, unless you know him
right.
somehow. But in that scenario, I would have said probably be a little more defensive so that he can't get on your inside. And all that would have been
Okay.
taken is on the hairpin to be a little bit more in the middle of the track, not directly in the middle, not all the way to the left, but a little bit off that side, and he wouldn't have been able to get on inside you if that's what happened.
Gotcha.
Um, and then for the spoon, the reason that that happened was you were late to turn in on that one
Hmm.
because
Yep.
I don't even think he was beside you yet. He was still behind you, and so if you had scrubbed maybe 3 to 5 miles per hour, been a little bit more in the middle of the track, and hit the apex, got to hit the apex in that
Yep.
scenario, then he wouldn't have been able to get beside you either. And then it would have been a drag to 130R if you took the rest of Spoon correctly. But um, you know, if that that was a scenario where you could have ended up vying for first place. Who knows? We'll never know, right? But that's something that I'm trying to work on as well. To be frank, is to not get overtaken in the first lap. That happens to me quite a bit um, in the lobbies that I'm at, and so if I've learned to be a little more aggressive in my defense in the beginning, so that I don't immediately get overtaken. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I can definitely see that. I think nerves played into it as well.
Sure.
There was a lot of things that I was thinking about, and trying to do different lines, and then right now I just think about it is you making a point that sometimes in the time trial is not the way the race goes. So
Yeah.
being able to get off those lines and still be fast. Yeah, I should have had that mindset as well, but don't want to be too hard on myself. But
No.
I think there's a lot of things that I definitely could have did better, playing defense a lot better in that race rather than being so passive. I was still
Mm-hmm.
passive in the sense of, oh, there's a guy behind me, and then letting him take the inside is, yeah, that's a definite mistake that I made there. So good call out there.
Okay. So yes, Nugs, I'm a Ravens fan. Tonight's kind of a big night. I figured I'd go ahead and wear my team colors tonight. um, so the second thing that I would make a point of. Oh, do we got a 40 burger, hot dog, or no burger?
Congratulations. Good job, guys.
We had that 40 burger. Nice, everybody. Thank you so much. That's what OP's asking for. He wants more likes. It's a competition still
Yeah,
between
got
him and
got
Ace.
got to get them likes. Come on, push it, push
OP's gonna have me here till 6 o'clock trying to get these likes up.
it.
um, so the second main thing that I would mention is when you were following people and folks weren't behind you. Okay,
Mhm.
so I mentioned this a little bit, but I'll get more detailed here at this part. So um, when you were following folks, and sometimes there were two people up ahead of you that were closer. Um, that is a point where you need to emphasize your racing line and make sure you're on point with those especially. So, um, I think I mentioned 2 times up the hill there were opportunities where had you taken the uphill left-hander a little bit better, you would have ended up catching and maybe applying pressure. You probably would have had to back off at Degna 1 and Degna 2 and see what happened. But just that pressure altogether, can really make a huge impact on how someone else races. They can't handle it very well.
Mhm.
So, in a practical sense, what I'm saying is this: break a little bit earlier, or if the turn calls for it, stay off the gas for a little bit longer, and seek to get that run out of the corner so that you definitely have better exit speed than the people in front of you. Whenever I see two people fighting or battling up ahead, I'm chomping at the bit. I'm ready. So
Yeah.
at each corner, I am. So let's take that. Let's take Spoon for example. Okay, so two people are battling at Spoon on the second part of it, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna end up if as long as I execute right, I'll I'll go just a tad bit deeper, wait for the car to turn a little bit more, and then punch it out of there.
Okay.
100% of the time, I'm gonna have a better exit than those two up ahead. You know, because they're side by side and they have no chance of having the same exit speed. So
That makes sense. Yep. Okay.
so I like to do that on each corner that's possible. Now, it may be that they don't make a mistake, and what do you think I do then? A little quiz here, a little pop quiz. What do you think I do if they don't make a mistake, but I have a run on them?
You still gain on them, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're them make their mistake, right? Like that's all I can think about
Yeah,
is
I'm not gonna go for a dive. I'm not gonna go for a crazy move. I'm gonna check up and try again on the next turn. I'm gonna keep that process, and then once they make a big enough mistake that my exit makes me go beside them or clean them past them, I'm golden. I've got it right. So that's the approach that I would suggest for you when following
okay.
folks is set up your opportunities that way. I really like the distance that you kept from the others.
Hmm.
Um, but what I was seeing was missed opportunities because of those things. If you get my drift there.
Understood. Choice coming in with the $10.
Goodness, Choice, that's so awesome, man. Thank you so much, bud. Means a ton. Hey, everybody, chuck up those, throw up those stud emojis for Choice, bud. Let's do it. Thank you so
Good
much,
job.
man.
Good job, Choice. Supporting the creators, the good guy creators.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So those are the two main things. Oh, and Ace doing the same thing.
Oh, here we go.
Holy cow. He's throwing up the Canadian dollars there. Thank you, bud. Thank you so much. Help pay for OP training. You deserve it. Oh, man. Thank you, bud. So much, Ace. Thank you, Choice. That's
Thanks,
awesome.
Choice. Thanks, Ace.
So a couple things. Let me just say real quick. Yeah, that's those are the two things that I would mention that you could work on and develop that until it becomes a natural thing. Like I would say, I've done it so often now, I do it almost without thinking.
Hmm.
Um, both of those things. Well, the second thing, I do the second thing more than the first thing. The first thing I'm still working on a little bit more. But yeah, that's what I would focus on for sure.
Well, amazing. Yeah. Um, I have a lot to work on. I've got notes here
Yeah, yeah, that's so cool.
that I've been taking down. Yeah. So again, I can't thank you enough.
You're welcome, bud. Here's how one of the ways I'm going to thank you is for those who don't know, OP, he's a streamer. He's just starting out. And so if this thing works, there it goes. That's his channel page right there. If you haven't subscribed to OP, go give the man a sub. Like for real, what's going on? What are you waiting for? Do it now. Let's
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
You're welcome, bud. You're welcome. I have a feeling you'll do it more often once you get your rig set up and you have that nice, quiet, direct drive, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, one of my main streams is going to be coming up whenever I'm putting together the Fanatec rig
Yeah.
that I just spent money on. So I've got my streaming house that I'm working on. So it'll be
Gotcha.
a complete room. It'll be a complete house setup. So we'll do a tour of the house and before and after, and
Oh, neat.
yeah. So it'll be sure.
Cool. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Man, my brain is moving faster than everything. It looks like everybody's subbing to you there, OP.
Thank you so
It's
much. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
that's cool, man. That's cool. It's not gonna be long. I think we'll start seeing you in my lobbies. It's gonna happen. It's
I hope
gonna,
so.
yeah,
I hope to be there.
yeah. Get you all set up with that, and then it's gonna happen for sure. What was it? Oh, the other thing I want to say is, hey, we've had, sorry, we've had, oh, did we lose OP?
No, I'm here.
Okay, it just went totally silent for a sec.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay. So this Ace has done this last week. We got OP this week. If anybody in chat wants to book a session, learn with Led session, you can start by, if we're not friends already, on PSN. That's my PSN for PS5 there, Ledpencil 2017. Go ahead and hit me up on there, and we can begin the conversation and get things set up. Was it pretty easy to get all this together? OP, what did you think? Was it a whole lot of work to get set up, or how did you feel
Not
about
at
that
all.
process?
Yeah, that was super clean, super easy. Y'all made it really easy on me. I mean, all I did was show up and talk to some good friends of mine, and then race some Gran Turismo. The hardest part is probably just changing my mindset and actually focusing on track. And I think that was your goal, right?
Yeah.
Put my mind towards focusing on getting better, and that's what you
Mm-hmm.
accomplished. So yeah, good job.
Cool, man. Well, I would say this, and this is for everybody in chat too. Look, if in life, if you want to improve at anything, you really have to dedicate yourself to it, right? You got to be committed. And I think one of the reasons that I'm so convinced that OP is going to get better and he's going to get to that A+ goal and he's going to become one of the fastest drivers and all of that in RSR. He wants it. He wants it.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
haven't gotten there yet, but you know how we had the mentality that you need in E through C lobbies that I have in essential strategies. One of the mentalities that you got to have if you're going to be an A+ driver, if you're going to get from A to A+, you have to want it. You got to want it like you want almost nothing else. You're going to have to work. Like you're going to have to work, make it one of the most important things for you, you know? So, that's
I want to be called an alien.
you want to be
That's
called
my
an
goal.
alien. That would be
I want to be
cool.
called the alien. Yep.
One day, hopefully, I'm called alien now. It's a
Uh huh.
misnomer. It's a
Yep.
misnomer. I'm not anywhere there yet. I realize I have quick moments. I'll call it that. Some weeks I end up with maybe a top 200 or a top 100 time in the world, but that's pretty rare still. And I need to get me one of them direct drives someday. Is what'll happen probably eventually.
Let's help him out. Get him there.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
it's called
Yeah.
it's called a tax write-off if I'm
Yeah. There you
actually
go.
if I'm actually employed through YouTube and everything.
That's right.
Woohoo!
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Choice says thanks, Led, for doing this. Great opportunity for drivers to get a leg up on the competition. That's right. That's right.
100%.
I feel like a lot of folks out there in the dailies, man, they're just pounding their heads against the walls, and I hate seeing people they're having such a rough time, and I want to help people not have such a bad time on track. I want to see people have a good time on track more often than not. So yeah, good stuff, man. Well, OP, I just want to say thank you. You've said your thank you to me, so I want to say thank you to you for doing this and hopping on. It can be a little nerve wracking, and I understand. Not everybody is ready to like put put everything out there, and you jumped on this opportunity, and so I think it's great that you were able to do that with us. Thank you for taking the risk and getting out here for this, man.
Yeah. Just of course to you and your community, and I really appreciate not just getting out here and racing, but the community that it's brought me around. The Gran Turismo community, of course, there's toxicity out there, but uh, the guys and girls and everybody that I've been around since I've started racing this game has been nothing but positive.
Right?
And
Right?
uh,
Yeah.
everybody here and everybody that's in our RSR and lead pencil communities, what amazing people that we get to be around every day.
It's
So
true,
thank you
man.
all for taking time from your daily lives
Yes.
and your families and everything to be just being here and showing up. So
Right.
thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you to all of y'all.
Yeah, the chatters, these communities are great. You guys, RSR, PHG, Greasy, um, um, uh, what is it, CBR, the Brigsby crew, all of them, man. Everybody who keeps coming in here, they're just remarkable. You are totally on point by saying thank you to them for sure, man. Wicked quick, coach with the 9.99. Thank you, the DD fund. He says, thank you, bud.
Yep, there you
Thank
go.
thank you so much, man. You are a stud. I didn't even have to say it. Everyone put the stud emojis up. That's great. Fantastic.
Y'all are amazing.
Yeah, man. Okay. Well, we're going to conclude this session at this point. I think it was a good time for everybody. Once again, if you're looking to do one of these with me as well, sometime in the future, get in contact with me through PSN. The Lead Pencil 2017 is how you'd find me there, and we can get the conversation started and get you scheduled. Thank you again, OP. Appreciate everything you brought to the stream today. You drew all these viewers today, man. You drew the 40 likes, but you totally rock, man. You, I would say, are the stud of the day, if that's a thing. We probably want to make that a thing.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bud.
thank you again. Yeah,
You
you're amazing.
Not a problem, bud. All right, we'll catch you later, bud.
Have a good one.
You too, man. See ya.
Bye.
Ah, one of those things where you kind of just don't want it to end. You want it to keep going, right? Like, can we just keep doing it? Can we just not stop? It's so much fun. Okay, I think I need to do this here. There we go. All right. I would love to do one with you, Lead Pencil, but I curse like a sailor, so I will spare you. Ace says we're gonna clean up these GT7 dailies on video at one video at a time. Yeah, man. Get out the sign up sheet. Tell OP I won. You did, you did. Right, he's the MVP. There you go. There you go. There's OP right there, like always, Ace. Cool stuff. So that is gonna do it for me today. Normally we do some laps with lead, but not gonna be able to do that today. I have had quite the week of work. Haven't spent nearly enough time with my family. And so, what'd you say? What is that? Speaking of family, what is it called? What do you say? Just say the word. Don't whisper. Yeah. Stud. Okay. My youngest is in here with me right now. Oh man. On a good day, you curse like a mad sailor. Nugs needs a session. Yeah, Nugs, you said you wanted to do it, but that you wanted to wait to get so that you're healed up and get back on your wheel. That's fine, man. Either way. And plus, I mean, we can have return guests. It's not a this is not a one time and never again type of deal, you know. Great live stream as always, Led. Glad to be here lurking. You bet, Noah. Thank you for lurking. You do USD kind of R search with super chat. Oh, interesting. Interesting, Bandakookie. Yeah. So there's different competitions here, okay? Nice. It's Oh man. Okay. Well, yep. So that's going to do it for now. Be on the lookout. I'm going to have 2 videos coming out in the next couple days. They're going to be one's going to be a time trials video that we haven't done in quite a while. That really this last week definitely lent itself to that. And then I'll have a shorter daily race run through video as well. The first one, the time trials one, is going to feature our very own Philness, who is just a fantastic individual. And so, oh, family first. Thanks to your family for allowing time with us. I know it can be a sacrifice. Yeah, for sure, Nugs, for sure. Oh, we got Wrench Wench on. Very nice. Thanks, Bandicookie, for putting that on there. So, yep, the 2 videos are coming out. I would expect this is my Led and his partner YouTube are the real winners. Nice, Ace. Yeah. I anticipate a Monday stream after these 2 videos that come out this weekend. A Monday stream, probably not a Tuesday stream, as I think it is tough to find enough time to work on these essential racing strategies videos, and I need more time than I can give some weeks. So I'm gonna have to sacrifice one stream to work on the video. This first episode 4, we're gonna do that. Hopefully, get that out in short order. That's my goal. Um, we'll see what happens, and then after that, we'll probably do a Saturday stream, and hopefully we can get a lapse with lead in that day as well. And we'll see what else we can get into. A lot of other things go on Saturday, so I'm trying to be open to other opportunities as well. But at the very least, I want to race with you all. That's for sure. That's something that I really want to do. So that's gonna do it for me, my friends. What a great stream. What a great guest. OP was fantastic, wasn't he? It was such a great time to hang with him and to get to know him, get to hear his personality, and yeah, we every time we see him in the chat, we know more who we're talking with now, right? And I think that's a really cool aspect to this. Yeah, we're helping each other get better at racing and get quicker on track, but in the end too, like we're building these relationships to a deeper level, and I think that's one of the most important and cool aspects about the Learn with Led sessions. So, all right, guys, love you all like crazy. There's nothing you can do to change my mind. I'll catch you all later. Bye.